Sizwe Roberts was born on the 12th of July, 1990, to a South African mother, Winnie Roberts, and a Nigerian father, Tunde Horsefall. Sizwe's parents were not officially married at the time of his birth, hence his mother's decision to give him her surname. Although they were not legally married, Sizwe's parents lived together and had a happy home. Sizwe's childhood was replete with joy and laughter. His parents were hard workers and provided all his needs. Sizwe's mother had another child, a baby girl named Ruth, and they all lived in a 2-bedroom apartment in Johannesburg. Sizwe's father was a trader and had grown his business from the scratch, becoming one of the most successful traders in their neighborhood. His success drew the envy of the locals who were averse to the idea of an immigrant outdoing them in their own country. Sizwe and his sister attended the Crosby Academic Primary School, Johannesburg, where Sizwe was popular with the teachers for his neatness and his academic prowess. Although Sizwe was very intelligent and was expected to become a doctor, he admired his father's trade and wanted to become an entrepreneur just like his father. He would go to his father's shop every day after school and observe the way things were done. Before he turned 10, Sizwe already had a rudimentary understanding of how to run a business. One day, the year Sizwe turned 12, there was a xenophobic riot within their neighborhood, and his father and other immigrants were rounded up and murdered. His father's murderers spared Sizwe and his sister because of their South African ancestry, although the children of their neighbors who were from other African countries were murdered too. The death of Sizwe's father coincided with the looting of his shop. By the time the riot concluded, Sizwe's father's shop had been looted dry, and their home had been burned to the ground. Sizwe's family became homeless after this incident and lived in a shack. Things became very difficult for them. His mother could not raise enough money to cater for them, and this resulted in perpetual hunger. Things grew worse when Sizwe's younger sister took ill. There was no money to provide her with sufficient health care. Sizwe's mother tried her best to raise some money, but was unable to. His sister died in their shack, a tragedy that his mother found hard to come to terms with. After the burial of his sister, Sizwe's mother became so ill that she couldn't leave their shack. As a result, Sizwe hit the streets and began to do numerous odd jobs in order to fend for himself and his ailing mother. His mother died after a while, and Sizwe went to live with his mother's sister in Village, Maine, a suburb close to Johannesburg. Sizwe grew up in the village, attending the village public school. He continued to perform well at school, and this earned him a scholarship into the University of Johannesburg, where he studied economics. All through his years in the university, he never forgot his childhood flair for entrepreneurship. Upon graduating, he was quickly absorbed by Bidvest Bank as an economist. He worked with the bank for 2 years, saving up money to start a fabric business, just like his father. He eventually quit his job at the bank to focus on his fabric stores. There were so many ups and downs, but Sizwe kept his head above water, learning from his mistakes, improving on his strengths, until his business stabilized. Today, Sizwe has a scattering of fabric stores across 6 states of his country, South Africa, and has also started a shoe line called Roberts Footwear. The thing is, in life, we cannot control the circumstances that brought about our birth or the families we have been born into. It's the trajectory of our lives from the day we gained understanding of the old world around us. The financial situation of a person's family will only hinder their progress if they continue to see it as a hindrance. Most great men and women in the world today did not have the privileged upbringing. This makes poverty an insufficient excuse not to pursue our dreams in life. Muso Kokushi said, "Hardship is a blessing when it spurs effort and development. Ease is a curse when it increases complacency and self-indulgence." So, hardship can be beneficial to the sufferer in the sense that it motivates them to work harder. C.S. Lewis said, "Hardship often prepares ordinary people for an extraordinary destiny." Sometimes, when we find ourselves growing up in an unpleasant situation, it could be the only drive we need to succeed in life. Edward Dundin said, "Don't give up in the times of difficulty. Persevere on, as there will be an end to this." Sizwe Roberts went from one hardship to another and would have lost all hope in life, resign himself to his circumstance and become a nuisance to the society. But instead, he took charge of his life and rose like a phoenix from the ashes, proving that the ability to rise every time one falls is what distinguishes a successful person from a failure.